because to your point, we want to make sure their constitutional rights are protected, Fourth
Right.
Amendment, and so forth. So once this bill, let's say, gets into
Yeah.
law
I
eventually,
mean, I guess
it will cover both the private and public sectors, right?
Yes, it will.
there's a lot going on. I just want to
And
give
I
everyone an
think,
update.
again, when you look back at the history of
And
payments in the U.S., starting
mean,
out with
I'm into this
trade,
stuff right now, right?
and then going to
Crypto's
paper
going to
money,
pass into
and
law
then
for
paper,
the U.S.
paper money anchored by gold, and then paper
They're
money
really
fiat
pushing it,
currency
and it's not just
in
a
the
little,
last 60
a little
years
push.
for sure.
I expect a 10x.
You've seen that evolution. You've
And
seen
the
the
10x
payments
is fantastic in
evolve
any
along
investment.
with it, electronically and digitally.
No,
me,
this is not
just
financial
another
advice.
payment
I'm not here
rail
to
now on a
say you should do
blockchain system.
this or that.
What would you say to somebody that
Personally, I
hasn't
like
tried therapy before?
Just ask
having
yourself
some Bitcoin, even
what
if you
you're
put a
doing in your
dollar,
life right now is
5,
working.
25,
if you have peace,
100,
if you have good relationships,
or a Tau or whatever.
And we want to make that's programmable, and as you say,
It's always good.
24
There's
hours
not
a day
enough room
settlement capability, 7
for
days a
me to
week
talk
settlement
about
capability. I
all of
think you'll
that.
Of you for the first time. So I am.
We've seen that.
Sometimes you just feel tired.
JP Morgan has capitulated. They are now moving to public blockchains after years of using their own private networks. They're going to use Ondo and Chainlink. I'll give you the details. And Lyft, the ride-hailing.
This doesn't need to be very interesting, man. We're just kind of here to give a flash news, you know what I mean? Alert type thing. A lot of this stuff have been going up for a week. 25% here and there. You know, it's the stuff people live for. There's a lot to learn, I know, about all of these. You know, why some go up, why they don't. We know that ETH, so Ethereum's a really good bet because it's been stagnant. Oh, it's just pushing 3K now. It's been stagnant for more than a year. Like it's been at this level here, right, on average for what, 4 years, right? Buying ETH at 3K. We can see some news. We're on CoinMarketCap saying that BlackRock is now buying more ETH than Bitcoin. So they see a huge opportunity. It really goes with the narrative, and the narrative changes fast. So it's good to keep track and don't get into some weird coins, guys. You know, like, I don't know, DG. That's not going anywhere, the small ass market cap. There's nothing going on here. You know, if you want to have blue chip, stick to top 10. I think top 10 here is so blue chip, it's crazy. Top 20 is I would say really, really good. And then you kind of have to go down because Aave is really, really good. Chronos is being talked about. Near Protocol, BitTensor. I have the Internet Computer. All it is really, it's blockchain technology. Like Bitcoin was the first one. And Bitcoin is a naked blockchain, you know? It's like, here's a coin, and the fact that everybody gives a fuck, and run nodes, and it's a decentralized ledger, peer-to-peer. And these coins that are part of that ledger, which is, what's the word when it's an invite only, you know what I mean? You need those coins to be part of that. There's nothing else, right? And because it's so naked, it's the most bare bone value of a blockchain. And for some reason people say, well, that's the gold, that's the savings account of blockchain. And then you move to Ethereum, which was an upgrade, if you want, or added features to a blockchain. So they took the blockchain, the decentralized peer-to-peer ledger, right? That's all it is. Blockchain, decentralized ledger, right? A ledger that everybody agrees on, and it's decentralized, so you can't change it. Nobody can change it. And they added, I would say, plugs to that say, okay, well, if we want an input, we get an output of a little contract, if you want. If you do this, you get this, and that's part of the ledger, and it's distributed. So if everybody or anybody does the input of the contract, they get the output, and that's Ethereum. It's like a computer. It performs functions, but it's distributed, and it's a ledger, so nobody disagrees with it. So it's the truth. The decentralized ledger is truth, and it's very strong because you can, for example, we've talked about on Twitter having so many bots and not knowing who's real and who's not. But if we have a ledger that agrees as to who's real in terms of identity, like a passport, and you plug that on Twitter, you automatically see who's not real. And that is going to come in the few years. It's another application of a ledger, a decentralized ledger. There's a lot going on. XRP is like a
now that
a
MicroStrategy
bank.
has
They've always specialized in
600,000
banks.
Bitcoin, it is so big that I think it has a sovereign put.
When I think about the idea of a crypto treasury vehicle and what it represents, which is the ability to accumulate crypto even faster than you could on your own.
MicroStrategy obviously started it, but it was really not that widely adopted until, he really proved the strategy. People thought after the ETFs that the premium would collapse.
I do think the treasury vehicles are probably more attractive over time than ETFs.
Exposure isn't the only answer to why these vehicles are
The
taking
one with the
off.
So what is
crazy
like
ass
the
Tom
fundamental
Lee,
pricing that you should deserve for something
he
like this? Well, I think
is
it's
buying
simple.
Ethereum.
Nothing said on
So we,
forward
in the
guidance
stock
is a
market, we have
recommendation to
different
buy or
tools
sell
now.
any investments
Some companies only buy
This
Bitcoin,
podcast
like
is for informational
MicroStrategy,
purposes
now
only,
called Strategy.
and the views expressed by anyone on the show are solely
And
their opinions, not
some companies
financial
only buy
advice or necessarily
Ethereum,
the views of Blockworks. Our
like
hosts, guests, and the Blockworks team
Tom
may hold
Lee's
positions in
company.
the company's funds or projects discussed.
And I have a few on my portfolio.
All right, good morning, everybody. Super excited to be here and talking all things unpacking the token acquisition.
And they also have ETFs that are able to buy and custody straight up crypto, so Bitcoin, ETH, etc. Don't mind Dragon Ball Z, you just have a phase, dude. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do not be fooled. I don't know what that means. Raul. Just a lot of people are very like pro this stuff. What's coming now is Tether and USDC.
What is
USDC
DeFi?
launched
Well, it stands for DC.
on the market as Circle. And yeah, I mean, it's a great story. And so these two here are the killer app. We didn't know that in crypto. We use these because they stay $1 each, and they're called stable coins. And let's say Bitcoin goes down, right? Because it's like slowing down. Some people will transfer this into stable coins. So this stays $1 while your Bitcoin goes down. Like here, for example, you know, as it goes down, you want to keep the value you made. Oh, excuse me. Just have to sneeze. Yeah, I don't mean to be too long here. So we've been using this creation since 2017 or so. But they just figured out that this is how you get people into crypto. You just give people a virtual currency that's stable. You know, people don't need to have stuff that goes up and down. They just want virtual currency, because here's what you can do. You can do DeFi.
Centralized finance. In the past, we
with
have always
those.
used centralized finance.
And then people will be like, oh wait, what do you mean? I'm stable and I make a yield.
Which is where there's a central authority that controls
Yes.
the flow of money. The government and the banks
You just
control
have to manage the risk.
They don't really
'cause
say
some
they
yields
do,
are
but
too
they do.
risky.
They can print more of it if they want to. They can stop you from borrowing it if they don't want you to. They can even stop you from having a bank account. If they wanted to, at any time, they could have your money. They have your money. So they could change it, and you really couldn't argue against it. I mean, you could, but how would you prove it? You gave your money to them. It was basically
For some people, their government takes their money in their bank account. So they want self-custody. They don't want their money at the bank. They want it elsewhere, and the internet is a great place. For most of us, it's not the case. What we want is actually to put our money at the bank and our bitcoins at the bank and things like this, because it's going well. There's no issue, right? There's nothing like that until that changes. But you know, if you're not conspiracy like too much, then things have been going well for hundreds of years. Okay.
Instead, there are pieces of code that run and act as a bank. They're
So
open
some people
to
have
anyone.
money here.
They don't
They say,
require
well, I
you
want
to
to make a
trust them
yield.
because they're literally
Give
a
me
piece
some
of code
one
running
of
a
these
program.
coins.
If you wanted to,
And
you
do
could
my
read through it
DeFi
and
for me,
verify that it's
man.
not going to scam you. They
You
are
know?
also
Banks,
censorship
do
resistant.
DeFi for me,
And
man. Give me
lastly,
my yield.
they're much cheaper than traditional centralized
Just do it all
finance.
for me. And that's what's
Decentralized
coming.
finance
That's really
is
what's
built
coming. I
on
think the
three
banks are going to have a central role.
main things:
As to all this.
cryptography, the
They'll
blockchain
allow you to buy
technology,
Bitcoin
and smart contracts.
and sell Bitcoin. We can already see it. The exchanges are applying for compliance, and they're trying to become like these are applying for bank license, and the exchanges really are trying to offer other services. For example, Robinhood, Wealth Simple, they offer crypto but also bank services. And when we look at Robinhood, right? That was a nice event just a week ago. They're doing tokenized stock, which means stocks that are really going on the blockchain, moving freely.
We have a chance to prove to the world what we've believed all along, that crypto is much more than a speculative asset. It has the potential to become the backbone of the global financial system.
That's no joke, by the way. This is Finance V3, really. And why not? Because it's really opening up liquidity. It's opening up global market. It is the future of global finance. It just enables all of it. It's 24/7. You don't have to register with New York Stock Exchange, and whatever else. Try to give you some substance here. Come on already, fucking get me there, dude.
So we asked ourselves, what about bonds? Should we tokenize some bonds? What do you all think? Okay, not a lot of excitement about that, I see. How about mutual funds? Mutual funds would be a great thing to tokenize. Very, very cool. Maybe private credit? Carbon credits. Okay, how about tokenized Bitcoin? Okay, yes, that was a trick question. Just wanted to make sure everyone was still paying attention. As we got to thinking about what to tokenize, we saw an opportunity not to just...
I think he looks fantastic here, but I don't know if it's gonna look like a BitConnect type of fucking bullshit going forward. But no, I think they're doing fantastic, and they are like exchanges, right? And what they want to do is tokenize everything, and then they want to deploy all over the world. Robinhood bought many exchanges and other assets throughout the world to hope to have compliance with different countries by having the people they purchased, companies they purchased, the people they work for those companies, work on that compliance for them. So it's all going to come 160 some countries worth of compliance towards Robinhood so that they can keep growing. So I think Robinhood, fantastic. And Kraken is also following suit. Kraken wants to launch next year on the stock market. They want to do the same thing. But I think these guys are the Amazon of, what's coming. So I'm happy to be invested in them.
The crypto technology powering all this lies under the hood, and we'll be lifting that hood up for you a little.
And they're serious, and it's a serious task, and investors want it. The thing about tokenization is you can take any asset that's not on the stock market. Let's say you own, like, I don't know, $100 million building, right? And you can legally bind a token to be the value of that building. And then what you do is you bring it onto DeFi, and you say, well, I'd like some yield on that. And so that's where the interest part is. And we're talking about hundreds of trillions worth of asset. Bitcoin has 2.3 trillion market cap. If we look at money, you've seen this probably before. Brother, I don't need this one. Oh my god, why do I subscribe now? Okay, I think we had it here. Oh my god. Just when you want an example, dude. Alright, well, I'm done searching for that. This is as. You can see there's a lot. There is a lot. We're talking many trillions. So yeah, like for example, like BlackRock. What's the asset under management? 11.6 trillion, and they're already in crypto. That's more than 2 trillions worth of Bitcoin. You know, like Bitcoin is worth 2.3 trillion. They have 11.6. They won't yield on that. And let's take other Vitality. Is it Vitality? Fidelity. $5.8 trillion. All these companies, like Pantera, much smaller. So yeah, it just needs to be unlocked. And I mean, I can go on. I just don't know what the questions are. If there's any question, you would put in the comments. We'd come back to them. If you don't know what to do, just Bitcoin. You would open an account, let's say with Coinbase, Robinhood, Wealthsimple, many places. You can buy Bitcoin on the street, I think, with like machines, and you have it on a paper, but you gotta protect the paper. I like these places online you can buy. Let's see, most popular. I don't know about that. Kraken is pretty low. Bitfinex had a lot of acts. Crypto.com has been up for a long time, you know. A lot of these are not in the United States or Europe. Binance is banned a lot of places, but it's the best. It's just it takes time. Bybit is Korea, I think. Coinbase is Brian Armstrong from the US. So I like it a lot. I'm surprised we don't see like Robinhood, Wealthsimple, you know, a lot of places. I don't know what this is. There's maybe some you've heard of before. And these we don't have database. Yeah. So I like to stick to the names I've mentioned. And then you can own your own wallet once you have $1,000 or so. And you'll make mistakes, you know, like don't send all your coins at once. Don't get rid of all your coin because that's internet money. Okay, the whole world is going on the internet. more and more every time. Why would you sell them? I sold them. I made a mistake. You know. And now I bought back and I'm happy. So that's about it. Leave questions in the comments.